After traveling through the Witch Gate, the party took some time to recover from teleportation sickness and got their bearings. To the northeast, they could barely make out the top of a structure through the foliage. That had to be Fandol's tower. The party had begun to move in that direction when Storm slowly raised a hand in warning. Something was moving towards them. Fanning out, they prepared themselves for the worst, as many pairs of glowing eyes began to appear in the thick brush ahead. Suddenly, with a bestial grunt, a single form burst into view. A diminutive creature, no more than knee-high, raised a thin, wicked-looking spear above its head and glared at the party with malicious intent. It resembled a tiny imp, with distorted features, pointy ears, and glossy black eyes. A coat of matted fur sprouted from its chest and groin areas. A crude silvered circlet sat above its brow. More of the tiny creatures began to emerge from the forest, each one armed with tiny blades and spears. Abgal whispered, "Fetchlings, sneak thieves and questionable mercenaries, the lot." The cryptomancer stepped forward, clearing his throat and speaking in low Talislantan. "We mean you no harm, and are just passing through." Weapons at the ready, the party waited for the Fetch leader's response. The Fetch's eyes narrowed. A snarl crawled across his mouth, exposing tiny fangs. "Lay down, trespassers. Your lives are worth nothing in the werewood." The Rajan assassin mage and the Yitek tomb robber brought their weapons to bear as wiry, diminutive forms burst from the brush, fanning out all around them, while Abgal traced a pattern in the air, brow furrowed, a trail of energy following his fingertips. Matthias spoke an arcane word, and a bolt of pure magic arced out, slamming into a surprised Fetch. A bluish, twinkling haze wove among the Fetch combatants, causing many to slowly lower their weapons and stare blankly ahead. Reese's thrown daggers flashed through the air, piercing delicate eyes and soft throats. Storm's twin blades sliced both throat and gut, sending Fetch souls screaming to hell. The battle was deadly and swift. Fetch blood stained the forest floor. Sheathing his sword, Storm knelt and looked down at the Fetch leader, whose life was quickly fading from glassy eyes. "Fetch! What do you know of the tower to the east?" The Fetch spat out a gurgled breath. "The tower has a new master. You would be wise to kneel and show fealty to Zor." The creature's ebon eyes dimmed. With a low curse, Storm slid a well-balanced, black iron throwing blade from the Fetch's throat, wiped it off and tossed it to Reese, who smoothly slid it into its proper sheath. Matthias turned towards the dark silhouette of the tower. "Well, I guess we know where we're going next, eh?" A strange howl pierced the dank air.
Risi Alia Pharaoh. Risi Alia Pharaoh. Insertus Pulcher Imperium. Sio Didici Heto. Manus Temptus Horror. Resi Alia Pharaoh. Incertus Pulcher Imperium. Io Didici Heto. Salus Potentis.